I noticed this pattern that people, Don, would always call me when somebody passed away.
Welcome to another. We ain't even gonna call this another one. This is actually a special. This is like a Netflix special. This is like an Amazon special. This is like one of them ones that we might have to drop earlier than we supposed to, man. I am with the Miss Jini Thornton. Are you looking to record your podcast just like I'm doing right now, man? You should definitely tap in with the Success Center and Thornton Media Group right here in College Park, well, East Point, right here in Atlanta, not too far away from the airport. Y'all should tap in. We got a couple different setups, and we can definitely get you all the things you need when it comes down to starting your podcast. So tap in and click this link right here.
You are so crazy. Thank you for the introduction.
Because
I'm so excited to be here.
Me too, and it's way too long. It's been way too long coming, man. I don't want to just call you a CPA. I don't want to call you just a mom. I don't want to call you just a wife. I don't want to call you just a great person. I want to call you all of them. Mm-hmm. But what would you call Miss Jini Thornton?
Oh, that's a good one. You stumping me already out the gate.
And I didn't tell you that question beforehand.
I know you didn't. I think in the context of this conversation, I have been a very, very fortunate, successful entrepreneur. And I have just been really, really... I have had like a magical life and career, like just hands down. I've just been really, really blessed. So I'm just grateful, and because of that, I just been able to get to it all the way around. Personally, professionally, just been able to really, live life on my terms, but get to it though.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
One of the hardest workers I've seen, like, and when I say seen, because she don't be seen, because she be gone. Because Miss Jini be in and out of here. Shout out to the Success Center. Shout out to so many things that you've been a part of. Mm-hmm. Other than being a mom and a wife, because I feel like that's what I know you enough to feel like that's what this answer would have been.
Right.
What has been one of your strongest accomplishments, or would you say one of your most fulfilling accomplishments?
I think it definitely does relate to my family, because although I've been able to be successful in business and do well, I have always been very strongly connected to my family. So obviously, my husband, you've met, I think my oldest son. I don't know if you've met my youngest son, Cameron, before. But
shout out to my boy Trevor, though.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Trevor. But also, I've just been really fortunate to be very strongly connected to my extended family as well. And that's super important to me. David and I both are from Rochester, New York. And just I'm connected there, like we never moved away. And that's super important to me, to be not just to be able to like pass through with my family, but to really be connected and spend a lot of time at home. That means a lot to me.
No, yeah. And I admire that a lot. One, about your relationship. You're super intentional. Being able to be a part of this team and a part of this family. I don't ever say I've had like a real corporate job. So I've never been to like a Thanksgiving or a Christmas party. And I'm like, what we doing now? We gotta all sit down and just talk to each other about our day at work, and y'all actually care. It's been very enlightening, very humbling, very it's been a blessing to actually see how it works on the other side. I've been a bartender, server, and worked in clubs and stuff like that my whole life. So taking care of their people has never really been those things. But I don't know. I don't know other people who work with you or for you in this process, but I honestly love seeing how people show up here and happy to be here. No one seems like, oh my God, I gotta be here. Everybody seems like, let's go to work.
That's intentional though, because I did come from corporate, and although I learned a lot, I did not have a good experience. And I was very intentional about creating an environment that your work is supposed to enhance your life. Your life isn't supposed to revolve around work. So I just make sure that's what people get. And so I know what makes them happy. I make sure that they get that, genuinely get that. And so when you do that, you get the best out of people, that we can collaborate together. We can work together. They have the flexibility. They have the free, whatever that is. And so we've been intentional about creating the environment, and it works.
No, it's like I look forward to it. I even love the intentionality of both, of like how you and David like reach out to me. anything. Like, hey, Don, what's going on? Like, if they don't see you around here, if you ain't, what's up? You everything all right? And I truly appreciate that because it's genuine. It's not it's y'all pay me, so I know it's genuine. It's in a different level of it. So I just want to say like that is show from this perspective to see what y'all doing, what y'all have curated is truly appreciated. And I think it's something that can be implemented in other places.
I appreciate that. But one thing that I have learned after having been in a relationship, we were talking before, we've been together, I think 36 years though. That is the single most important decision that I've ever made. Is who I'm with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's no question.
Big dog.
And it does, but it impacts where you end up. It significantly impacts where you end up. And so I think it's really important. I love love, right? I love love. I love companionship. I love relationship and all of that. But certainly there's a business component to it. And we got to be thinking down the road too, not just today. Like, you get one shot at this. You need to be in partnership with somebody to make sure that you all are head aligned and heading in the right direction. How do you complement each other? Are you staying focused on the goal? Like where are we going? Like what are we doing here? And so I think David and I got aligned, very early and just been like moving forward.
I think that's huge. And getting to what the show kind of is about, the Don part is like, what's the vision?
Right.
The talk part is something that you want to speak into existence, and then the listen part is something that you want to, like, something that you might have heard along the way.
Right.
With you speaking about that, was the vision clear in the beginning, or when did it become like, this is our vision, or this is what we want to do, or was this the vision?
I'm laughing because I'd say yes and no. David and I met each other in high school. We did not date then, but we met in high school. We were on a Black college tour together in high school. And so, he's 2 years older than me. Then he went away to Tuskegee, and then we ended up crossing paths. And long story short, we only dated about 6 months before I got pregnant.
Okay.
Yep. So we were like, whoa, what is happening here, right? So literally out the gate under stress and duress, like pressure.
And if y'all haven't watched that episode, go back and watch the episode because he spoke a little bit deeper on it, how they just moved to Atlanta with a baby.
Right. Let's do it. Okay, we're going to give this a shot. But to the question, it's just like we knew the life that we wanted for ourselves, the life that we wanted for our family. And we didn't think we were going to get it where we lived, where we were from. So that's why we ended up picking Atlanta and coming here and then digging in, being clear on what the sacrifice was to be, that short-term sacrifice for the long-term gain. And Don, no question, it paid off, but we had to sacrifice though, but you have to be aligned because then when you're sacrificing together, then you're not like, oh, I hate this and this sucks. And because of you, I'm miserable. It's like, listen, like this is what we said we're going to commit to do. We know what the finish line looks like. So we didn't have it like perfectly laid out, but, we knew the flexibility or the freedom or the financial position that we wanted to be in. So we had to, live very conservatively and dig in and build. And we did it.
When did this when did you see that you were going to be like the plaques, when it like I mean the space, the place, all of it. Like when did that did it come along the way? Like when is it like this is what we're gonna do or this is where I want to be at?
Have I ever told you the story how I got in the music industry? I never told you. Okay, so I'm an accountant by trade, right? And so I'm a CPA. I'm a certified public accountant. And
did anybody else not know what CPA?
Okay,
just putting it out there.
I know. So all that means is how like lawyers take the bar.
No, for sure.
Right. So CPAs, we take an exam. That's all it is.
For sure.
So
she don't just do taxes.
Right.
Y'all stop thinking that CPAs just do taxes.
I know.
That help you along throughout the whole year, so they ain't got to go through your taxes. But go ahead.
So anyway, when we came to Atlanta, I worked for this amazing firm, KPMG, like one of the largest accounting firms in the world. Amazing opportunity, but it just did not work for being a mom. So I came already with one son. Within my first year there, I had another kid. And I'm like, this is crazy. Because you think about like tax season and work, the hours were just crazy. I'm like, this is not going to work for the life that I want. And only thing that I want to add to that is I was adopted and raised in a family with a lot of entrepreneurs. So I knew it was possible for me because it was normal.
You had already seen it.
I seen it, and I seen it several times too. So anyway, we get to Atlanta. I'm working at this firm. I'm like, this is not going to work, and I quit. And David was like, what are you doing? Right?
I can see his face.
Oh yeah. That was not a good time for the Thorntons at all. And during this season, Don, I just tried different stuff. I worked at Coca-Cola. I taught at Spelman for several years. Like I was doing different stuff. So this is where the story gets good. So now think 1996. So you're
Freaknik.
Okay. All right. Other than Freaknik.
Olympics. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No. Olympics are 1993, but no, 96. You're right, 96. So anyway, what happened in 1995 in Atlanta was a big year because that's the year that Hot, the hip hop station, came to Atlanta. Back then, V103 was the only black station in the city.
I think it was 97.5 then, wasn't it?
It was
no 107.9.
They started at 107.9, then they flipped it to 97.5. So anyway, when they got here, I was teaching at Spelman, and V103 used to have this show called Your Personal Finance. And I was like, I could do that. It was just like this financial advice show. So I called the general manager at Hot, and I was like, hey, I'm a local CPA. I'm a professor at Spelman. V103 has the show called Your Personal Finance. I want to do that with y'all. The general manager was like, come see me. I was like, sure.
Before you go further, before you go past that, what gave you the inclination, the bandwidth, the thought that I could call the general manager at 107? Like, what was that?
Yeah. Shoot your shot.
Like, I mean,
shoot.
How many people are there thinking like I can't even try to make the phone call? Or I tell a lot of people, DM everybody who you like,
you
want to work with.
Shoot your shot. And so, but I think I was just so confident though. I knew Spelman taught me that I was really a teacher, but I just knew I needed a bigger classroom than that though. So I was just like, what's the worst thing that could happen? But then she was like, come see me. I was like,
you wasn't expecting that.
I know, right? Right. So I go and see her. Why did she put me on the air in less than 30 days? I had never walked into a radio station in my life. In less than 30 days, I had my own segment on Hot, which was a brand new hip hop station in Atlanta. So think 90s. Think about how crazy the music scene was.
Atlanta.
LaFace Records, and
Atlanta
Outkast. It was the Mecca.
Yeah.
So now I'm at this radio station, and now all the guys at the station, they're like, oh my God, like you're an accountant for real. Like you're just not reading the stuff about. So now all the guys at the station are like, will you help me with my taxes? Will you help me buy my house? Will you help me fix my credit? Sure. I know how to do all that stuff. So there was this young guy at the station. He was an intern. He was a student at Georgia State. And he was on air, but again, he was a student, and I had been helping him with his taxes and stuff. And he kept saying, well, Jani, when I become a rapper, I want you to be my accountant. And I was like, oh, I love this. I mean, this young man has goals.
Sure.
Why did he become Ludacris?
I have heard that part of the story. I don't think you gave me all of that.
Yeah.
I knew where we were getting there.
Yeah.
But
he became that.
Yeah.
That intern, that person became Ludacris. Hey there, I'm Jini Thornton, your personal legacy expert and accountant. And listen, I know you're enjoying this episode, and I know you want to know how to get your own personal legacy life organizer. So, of course, you can go to legacylifeorganizer.com. Again, legacylifeorganizer.com. And, of course, now it's time for us to go right back to Don Talk Listen. Love me some Don. And David and I were in Florida taking our kids to Disney World. This is 2000. We are in Florida and I hear Chris's song on the radio and I was like, oh my God, what is happening? And I call him and I'm like, I'm in Florida. Why is your song on the radio? He's like, Janai, I told you. Like, I told you. He's like, let's go. And that's how I got in the music business. And I never even knew there was such a thing as being an accountant in the entertainment industry, like that you could just do that. So what was very beneficial to me was, one thing, let me back up and say, I was on the air, but guess what? I was not an employee. They never paid me. I didn't make a dime from them. But what did it do?
Opened up crazy doors.
And so now you think this is before social media. This is before all this other stuff. And I have a unique name. So I would meet people all the time, but they already knew who I was. Wait a minute. Are you the Janai on air? Boom. I had instant credibility. So then I just started picking up one client after the other in music. And then before I knew it, I had a business. Didn't even know that I could do this. I didn't even know that this was a thing. And I literally learned now 6, 7 years later, I still work with Ludacris. And that's how I got in the business.
What made you keep going when they didn't pay you after the first month? Like, what was the, I'm going to stick this out.
I got such a high from being on air. I got such a high from helping people, telling them, wait, don't do this. Okay, you need to do this. People were constantly calling, asking for advice. And it just was like, this is it. So you think, I started in radio in 1996. It is 2026. I still work in radio today. Today. It is the thing that catapulted me, but I just knew I loved the energy, because you think this back then the station was on Old National Highway, like
never knew that,
straight thugging it out. But you think about being
hold on, you driving the old Nat every day and just like
not every day, because I could pre-record.
Okay.
I could pre-record. So I would go down to the station, I could pre-record my segments, and then they would run them.
Sure.
But you have to understand how magical it was. Like, I was there the day that, what's the famous Outkast album? Aquemini? Is that the...
I mean, I feel like they're all...
Yeah. But isn't that one of their...
The biggest one? Aquemini might have been like the first one, though.
Yeah.
That would have been like the first album.
I was literally...
Well, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I was in the station the day that album was brought there for them to begin playing the music. You see what I mean? Because you think...
The history that you've seen.
Oh my God. And it was magical. So, and it was the beginning of something. And I was like, I'm supposed to be here. But it was free marketing for me. Because I tell you, every time I met somebody in the industry, I'm like, are you the same Janai? Because what other Janai did they know?
Yeah. Other than your niece.
Other than my niece.
She's not. She wasn't there yet.
She wasn't there yet. Exactly. And that's how I got in the music business. And before I knew it, we had a business.
Was there ever a point where you started to speak certain things into existence, or you noticed the power of speaking things into existence?
Well, let me just say this to you, and David will attest to this story. So our children were away for the summer, staying with our parents. And I had told David, we were out going for a walk, and I said, David, I don't want you to think that I'm crazy. I said, but God spoke to me and told me that I was going to be in like working with athletes. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I said, I know it sounds crazy. I'm like, you're the only person that I can say this to. I said, God told me that I'm going to be working with like celebrities and athletes. And he was, and it's funny, I could tell he was looking at me like, what are you talking about? But like, wait a minute, that's interesting. Yeah. But when I worked for this big CPA firm, KPMG, I was part of Evander Holyfield's team. And so this is when Evander Holyfield he hadn't even built that house yet. Right? So
Real Atlanta history right here.
Yeah, he was killing it at this time. In fact, we tried to talk him out of building that house, but that's another conversation for another day. So being a part of that Evander Holyfield team, I was like, this is dope. I mean, I loved. I was like, I didn't know that this was a thing. Like, you could work with wealthy people who are like in sports and entertainment, and I tell you, within a few months, that it came true, and it just happened for me just like that. And I'm also grateful too, because I often I've told Ludacris that I almost felt like he saved me, because when he began to take off, my mother passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt like it was what I needed. You know what I mean? Like I needed to be distracted and focus on something else. And when I tell you, it just happened like this. Like we were going straight. Like I needed that at that time. I needed the distraction. I needed to be kind of all in for something because of, my mother passing away. So the industry, because I'm in the industry, I'm not really of the industry, but it saved me though. It helped me create the life that we wanted, and it helped me through one of the most difficult times in my life too.
I think that's super big that you can even kind of correlate that to that time. I feel like sometimes we stray away or we'll run away from that trialing point, and if they don't have anything that can focus on, it could cause us to go the complete opposite way. What do you say to someone like in this, and maybe in a space that may not have that distraction? Would you give anybody any type of advice or anything that could help them in that space to where maybe, or what they should maybe try to dive into in that time?
Well, I think it's just natural as humans to run from pain, versus not sit in it, like, just be depressed and you can't get out of the bed. But we need to process it, because it's here to teach us. It's here to teach us. And grief is an interesting pain too, because grief just really means that you love somebody. If someone passes away and you're like, who cares?
There was nothing there.
No, you're like, okay. Grief means you whether you took the risk or there was some relationship there. And it's okay to kind of lean into that and look at it as a teacher versus looking at it as something that's trying to pin us to the mat. So, just get the help that you need. I had amazing grief counseling. So happy because it helped me get my footing faster. So I didn't use work to escape, because I had to do the work to really kind of process what I had going on. But the entertainment industry allowed me to create the life that I wanted.
And I want to say, like, I think that's super big and a crazy great segue to, like, even in being in grief and in being in certain things. I want to get into the segment when we hear about somebody who you heard along the way. But because we're here right now, I definitely want to talk about the Legacy Life Organizer.
Right.
And the reason I want to bring it up in this moment is because I feel like a lot of us don't have this.
Right.
We don't have this part.
Right.
And sometimes even when it comes down to grief, that be the bigger burden is we don't know what to do.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Sometimes when we lose certain people in our lives, they're the hierarchy of the family. They're the patriarch or the matriarch of the family, or they just may be the breadwinner or maybe just the person who paid all the bills. You could be the breadwinner, but aunt or grandma paid all the bills, or dad paid all the bills. And now she's gone, and dad don't even know how to pay the bills. And now we done lost the house because grandma or mama paid the bills for the last 15 years. So we're going to get back to the show, but I want to talk about, like, if you could briefly we have two of them here.
Yeah.
There's two different ones. Shout out to Thank Me Later. Shout out to the Life Legacy Organizer. But can you give a understanding of what this is? Because I talk about it all the time. I tell people about it all the time. But I wanted to be completely understanding what this is.
So where the Legacy Life Organizer came from was literally, this is something that was born from radio. I noticed this pattern that people, Don, would always call me when somebody passed away. And I was like, this is really interesting. So now I am on like the Ricky Smiley morning show, Erica Campbell Get Up Mornings, the William Moore Jr. show. I'm in over 100 cities every single week. And literally across the country, people would always call me when somebody died or when somebody was sick. So I was noticing the pattern. Again, think about it, radio not paying me still, right? Still. But it's always given me this connection to the people. So anyway, I was like, it didn't make any sense to me because it was not my experience. You know, when my mother died, I was 29 when my mom passed away, and everything was tied down perfectly. I didn't have to look for anything. I didn't have to make any decisions. Like, I knew where everything was, every bank account, every important document, what she wanted me to do with the house, where the life insurance was. I assumed that was everybody's experience.
You're sometimes when we come up a certain way, we think that's the norm,
right?
And it's not.
And so when people would be calling me, I'm like, what are y'all talking about? What do you mean you can't find the life insurance papers? You know what I mean? Like, it did not make any sense to me. Then I was like, oh, there's a real gap here. And how can I fill the gap? And so that's where the Legacy Life Organizer really came from, is just to teach people how to get their affairs in order. You don't need to hire no lawyer, right? You don't. It's nice if you do have a will. It's great if you have a trust and all of those other legal documents.
Sidebar. Also wrote the most wills for Black women.
Oh, yeah. Black women will.
Black women will.
Oh, yeah.
She's written the most wills for Black women.
Oh, yeah. We're the largest free estate planning event in the United States of America for Black or white people. Just thank you for the shout out for Black Women Will.
Shout out to Black Women Will.
I know. But I noticed that there was a pattern. I'm like, so now we need a solution. This is your roadmap. This is your roadmap to show you how to get your affairs in order, and just as importantly, how to help your loved ones get their affairs in order too. It's really important that we take the time to make sure that our families know where our important information is and that they do the same thing for us. So to learn more about the Legacy Life Organizer, please go to legacylifeorganizer.com. And it's simple. It's just like, who are your important contacts? Like, who does your taxes? Like, who do you have your car insurance with?
The funniest one I love is, where does the dog get groomed? That's my favorite one. I love going to that because that's one of those things that you're like, what you talking about? But if you don't know what a veterinarian is, or, you know what I'm saying, this dog might not get upkept the right way. And those are the little things, and all of those things are inside of here.
Everything is, so this is meant to be your brain. This is meant to guide you how to just to organize your stuff. So God forbid if you ever got sick, what a lot of us do, because it's important. You don't have to die for this stuff to be important. You could just, the sickest I've ever been in my life is when I had the flu, and I like flat on my back, could not move. You don't have to die for someone to have to maybe step in and take care of some things for you. And so that's one piece of it, you organizing your own affairs. The other piece of it is, which is the other version of the Legacy Life Organizer, when we've already had someone who's passed away and we are struggling to put it together. Perfect example, just a couple of days ago, I had this woman out of DC to email me. Her young adult daughter was in a car accident on New Year's Eve and died. Crazy, right? Daughter's a nurse, RN, out here living her life. Mom lives in DC, daughter lives in Virginia. And she reaches out to me in this email. She's like, Janai, I'm having a hard time with my daughter's employer. The life insurance company isn't giving me what I need. Called her immediately, pulled this out, and I'm like, here, this is exactly what you need to say to her employer. Make sure, ask them, are they going to pay you for her unused pay time off? Make sure you change the mailing address so you'll get her W-2. You're going to have to file her final tax return. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know.
You see what I mean? So she did not know what to say to them. Hey, she probably has life insurance through work. Find out, you know what I mean? What's the process of getting that? So we need the map of what to do. We got to have the map of what to do. And that's essentially what the Legacy Life Organizer is. But it's just really to fill a gap because we're taught to work hard, Don. We have not been taught to protect what we have. And then people think you have to have a whole lot of money to do this. No, it's just a matter of you. This is a love letter to your family. It's just like you just want to make things easy. You don't have to be rich to do this. You just have to be organized to do this.
For sure.
Yes.
I think a lot of us need. I feel like this is one of the most impactful books that it should be in every household. It should be a family night. Same way we have game nights. I want to start having Legacy Life organizer nights.
Right.
Like we're gonna
That's
have
a
these
dope idea.
LLO like LLO nights is coming soon. We might do it here at the Success Center, but we actually just have some of these conversations. She actually has all this stuff broken down for you.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, I definitely want to ask, what's that piece of advice or something that you heard along the way that kind of got you here to this point? And I think you did. I want to say that one part that you did say, and I think it was a subconscious thing that you didn't even, and I don't want to answer for you, but I will say this answer for you in this space is that your mom had already set this up for you.
Right.
And we all needed your mom, and it's here, and this is still her. This is her here.
That's her
throughout this.
She gave me the roadmap.
And I think that's amazing.
Layup, but that would be her nature to do that.
Sure.
You know, to always trying to make sure to make my life easier for me. But in the context of like, what have I really leaned into? I mean, obviously the first thing, because you were like, wait a minute, you called the radio station? Of course I did. Like, why wouldn't you do it? You know what I mean? Like, why are you saying no? No, because of what? No, you see what I mean? Like, you take yourself out the game. Let them take you out the game. Please don't take yourself out the game. The other thing too for me is, you know, being a woman in the entertainment industry, you know, there's always just this thing about the life of the business. But I'm like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? I'm going to live my life how I want to on my terms. And that's one thing I actually learned from Andre 3000. You know, it's interesting that even at the height of his career, when Outkast was killing it, you could see Andre at Whole Foods.
Yeah, for sure.
By himself. Just chilling.
Stay being him.
Just being him. Just moving around. I remember seeing him one time out at Chastain with his mom. He took his mom out to, I forgot who was performing, like Anita Baker or something. Just as normal and regular, because he made the choice to do that. And I think people lose sight of, you can make the choice that works for you. Not that the world says that you have to make. Like, if somebody that mega big is like, no, I don't want to live like that.
I could still be.
I just want to be regular. I'm going to drive regular. I want to live like. I was like, you could literally roll up on him in Whole Foods. Like, he got to eat, right?
No, that's real.
Yeah.
No, that's real.
But he made a choice. But we know other people who are going to move.
You can't even.
12 security guards, you know, would never even think about going into a grocery store. Like, not ever. I think
somebody asked 50 when the last time he pumped gas.
Yeah. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, no shade at
No,
anybody.
for sure. No, I'm just saying, like, just certain.
It just, you get to pick though.
For sure.
You know, you get to pick. And I just don't want people to lose sight that you get to make the choice.
No,
so choose wisely.
I think that's such a big point that people need to know. So 2 things before we get out of here. One, what's something that you want to lead to people? We're going to talk to this camera right here, but we ain't going to do that one yet.
Okay.
And the second one is, if you could invite anybody, or you think somebody who could bring substance or be great for the show, who would you invite to the Don Talk Listen show? You got invited by Mr. David Thornton.
Okay. Thank you, David Thornton. Okay. So the first one was my advice.
Well, we're not gonna do that one yet. The first
Okay.
one, I don't know. I gotta stop asking that question back.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense. That's not how you answer questions. The first one is, who is somebody you would invite to the show?
Who would I invite to this show? Ooh, because, you know, there's that technical part of my brain, you know, because I'm very practical, logical,
Sure.
the accountant.
It can be
part
more
of
than
me.
one person.
It could be more than one person. So, I mean, obviously, you know, there's living in Atlanta, there's such an attraction about the entertainment industry.
Sure.
But I don't think people really understand how the money gets made and how things really work.
That's
in
what
the
they need to
business.
know.
That's what they need to know. So I would love to have maybe like a couple of the really dope entertainment attorneys
Sure.
who, like, so you could be like, so how much do they really make doing that? Like so and so the catalog for real. Like why would you do that? Like that to me, I think could be a really interesting conversation because it's not just about all of this flash and flyness. Like, how does this really, really work? How does this business work for real?
For sure.
I'd love to see that.
For sure. We're definitely going to do that. And then the last one is if you're going to talk to the people and tell them exactly something that you want, a message you want to leave them with. A message you want to leave them with.
I think two things I want to leave you with. Number one is remember that, no matter how much money you have, you absolutely have a legacy and you have a responsibility for the people that love you. But guess what? The people who say that they love you, your parents, your grandparents, and your siblings, they owe you that too. So we've got to begin to normalize sharing this information and even make it fun. Like you said, the LLO night, like that's such a dope idea. So let's just make sure that we get comfortable having those conversations with our family. I'm asking you to do that like right away. Again, just not like how much money you have and where is it, but dang, grandma, where's your paperwork at, Lord? Got to start having those conversations.
No, I think going forward, if once y'all see this episode, y'all have already seen this commercial or seen her commercial plenty of times going forward before we even get to this. So y'all already know what this is once this episode dropped. This is just the episode to let y'all know what it was about.
Can I just say one thing before we wrap up? So I was just kind of looking at it like this sweatshirt that I have on, right? It says, "Hey neighbor," and on the back of it, it's actually a concert. It was a festival in South Africa. And so one of our clients, Khalid, performed in this festival in South Africa. And it's just like when you shoot your shot, you have no idea where it will take you. Like one phone call allowed me to be able to go to a concert in South Africa 20 something years later. You see what I mean?
Nah, that's the real manifestation. That's the real talking into it. That's the real
you understand
planting the seed.
Like you'll never know where I could have never dreamed this before. I could have never dreamed, like, oh, I'm gonna go to the people do that. Like that's crazy. Like you see what I mean? And I mean, the majority of the business we do is related to concerts. That's how we make the most of our money. Is we do accounting for concerts and festivals and tours. Who knew you could do that? I didn't know that you could do that.
Now we got to bring her back to the show.
Okay.
We're gonna bring her back. We're gonna have more of these conversations.
Yes.
This was just a brief discussion where y'all get to get a little taste, a little piece of the. That's why I put the D in front of her now. It's the Jini Thornton. That's why I put that there. And I just want to let them know that one of these gonna be, y'all gonna see one of these right here somewhere in the area from now on. I don't know why I could have had one of these here. I'm just thinking about it. Why didn't I grab one of these before now? I don't know. That didn't make sense. But going forward, you're going to always see these. They're going to be in every commercial, man. Make sure they need to be in every household. This needs to be a household book. You need to have these pages out here for everybody in your family when it goes down to anybody. I think coming out of high school, from high school all the way to the elders, needs to have this or at least know where this is at in the house. Because if anything happens, you need to know what to do next and what's the next steps and how we can get through the next steps. And if we have lost someone recently, we also have that as well. So y'all make sure y'all tap in with us, man. This has been one of those great, amazing episodes of the Don Talk Listen Show. And we're going to continue to grow and continue to be great at what we do. So y'all have a great day on purpose or at least do better.
Don Talk Listen.
Hi, I'm Jini Thornton, and I am your personal legacy expert. And you're like, what does that even mean? So think about it this way. If someone that you cared about got sick or passed away, do you know where their important papers are? Like, if they were still working, do you know who to contact at their job? What about for you? Have you checked your life insurance beneficiaries lately? And I know you're like, okay, this is heavy. This is a lot, but these are necessary conversations and information that we've got to share with each other. And so I know you're like, you don't know what to do and you need a guide. And that's why I'm so excited that I have this Legacy Life Organizer. This is your roadmap This is your roadmap to show you how to get your affairs in order, and just as importantly, how to help your loved ones get their affairs in order too. Because think about it, y'all. We have been taught to work so hard, but no one taught us how to have our affairs in order. And you don't have to be rich to do this, right? I don't care if you have $500 or if you have $5 million. It's really important that we take the time to make sure that our families know where our important information is and that they do the same thing for us. So to learn more about the Legacy Life Organizer, please go to legacylifeorganizer.com. Again, legacylifeorganizer.com. Looking forward to being with you on your legacy journey.
Don't talk, listen. Have a great day on purpose. Early do better. Have a great day on purpose. Early do better.
And she don't have to be prepped. She actually has a show that we gon' I'm about to be the new producer and engineer for her show, and he gonna help me. It's E Major. He's actually an amazing graphic designer, videographer, photographer, all around animation production. He does. I have cool friends, but this is one of my most talented friends.
Don't you always feel like you need to pay Don for when you take him around with you?
On purpose, early do better. On purpose.